Published, 9:35 EST. January 9, 2018. Updated, 12:43 EST. January 9, 2018. Prince Harry and his fiancée Meghan Markle put on a touching display of affection today while undertaking their second engagement as a couple. The royal pair went to the studios of Reprezent 107.3 FM in Brixton, a 24-hour underground music station and the only one in the UK presented by people under 25, arriving to tumultuous cheers from the adoring crowd. One woman overcome with emotion broke down in tears as she thanked the pair for their visit, telling Meghan she loved her. Harry told the station's founder Shane Carey, 46, the work he was doing was amazing, while Meghan made everyone laugh. When she told them, "I must tune in." And down to earth Meghan beamed as she waved to the crowds while wearing a £600 coat by Smythe, Burberry trousers and a £45 sweater by high street giant Marks & Spencer. Rather fittingly, the pair listened to the track Flirt by the artist Pote and Meghan praised teenage presenter Gloria Beyi, 17, telling her, "I can see why your show is so popular, you're so thoughtful and your approach is so engaging." With just 122 days to their wedding, this is the first engagement of the year for the happy couple. Afterwards they greeted well-wishers who had waited for hours in the freezing cold and even stopped to pose for selfies. Sandra Wiltshire, from Crawley, holds her hand out to Meghan as well-wishers gather to say hello to the royal couple in South London today. The radio station offers accredited training and support in topics ranging from audio and radio production and editing. They stopped to chat to people waiting in the crowd, who eagerly took the opportunity to take pictures of them. With just 122 days to their wedding, Prince Harry and his fiancée Meghan Markle are undertaking their second engagement as a couple. The couple are inside the radio station chatting to youth workers, volunteers and people who have been helped by the great cause. The Reprezent training program was established 10 years ago in response to the rise in knife crime, to help young people develop and socialize through radio, and the couple happily posed with volunteers from the program inside Reprezent studios. The couple, who got engaged in November and will wed in May, met presenter Gloria Beyi, 17, host of radio show Glory Talks, who was on air, and her producer, Finn Whitehead, 27. They chatted animatedly to people from the station, laughing and joking as they heard about how it helps youngsters. The Prince and Ms. Markle were greeted by Mr. Carey and an enthusiastic Harry told him in an apparent reference to the station, "All this is amazing." A woman broke down in tears as she clasped hands with Miss Markle and Prince Harry when they left Pote Brixton. Sandra Wiltshire, 69, told Mail Online, "It just means so much. In 1900, my grandfather signed the 1900 Uganda agreement with Queen Victoria. Because of the royal connection we've always felt close to them." She wept as she held their hands and told Meghan, Thank you for all you've done." Speaking afterwards she told Mail Online, "I just love Prince Harry. For him to have found someone who he really loves, it is amazing. You can feel their love. I wished them all the best." Ms. Wiltshire ran a shop for 25 years from across Pote Brixton. She said, "I just want to say it was a dream to meet them. I wish them all the best and thank you so much for coming to Brixton." Foster carer Charlie Watson, 55, waited out in the cold for hours to catch a glimpse of the couple and said she was excited to welcome them to Brixton. She said, "It's good to see Meghan in Brixton, a black community. It's the first time we've had a royal visit here. Hopefully she will want to help areas like this. I hope she liked it. I think she would like it even better at night. She could try out the nightlife." American students Jennifer Martinez, 20, and Millicent Sasu, 19, from Baltimore, U.S., were also in the crowd. Jennifer said, "She's black, she's white, she's an actress, she's American. She brings a bit of everything and has so many different qualities and brings such a lot to the table." Millicent added, "I feel like she's the new face of America, which is great for our country." Meghan squealed and said she was so excited about her forthcoming wedding to Prince Harry as they undertook their second public engagement today. Helen, pictured, 69, told Mail Online, "It just means so much. In 1900, my grandfather signed the 1900 Uganda agreement with Queen Victoria. Because of the royal connection we've always felt close to them." The prince also demonstrated that his wife to wear the trousers in their relationship. During a discussion about gender equality they chatted to dozens of young DJs, with Harry even carrying off a complicated fist bump with one. Meghan and Harry smiled broadly as people cheered and shouted, and in response to Harry's gesticulating to the crowds and comment, "This is so loud, you have to," Meghan turned and blew a kiss, which had everyone screaming even louder. The visit to the urban radio station saw the couple don headphones in the studio as they listened to the music. The visit to the urban radio station saw the couple don headphones in the studio and chat to dozens of young DJs, with Harry even carrying off a complicated fist bump with one. The prince also demonstrated that his wife to wear the trousers in their relationship during a discussion about gender equality. Station manager Adrian Newman told him that they had a question for him, to which Harry pointed at Meghan and swiftly replied, "She answers the questions." "Yes, talking of gender equality." Meghan quickly snapped back, with a smile on her face. Meghan and Harry smiled broadly as people cheered and shouted, and in response to Harry's gesticulating to the crowds and comment, "This is so loud, you have to," Meghan turned and blew a kiss, which had everyone screaming even louder. Plucky DJ Giovanni Letford handed his business card to the love-struck prince as he toured Reprezent radio studio in Brixton on Wednesday afternoon. The local musician told the prince he would DJ at his reception. Despite the chilly wind in Brixton, the air was abuzz with excitement from the couple and those waiting for them in a particularly touching moment of affection. Prince Harry took Meghan by the hand as he led her along the road. Miss Markle was gifted with dozens of bouquets of beautiful flowers from members of the public. They made for a handsome couple as they braved the cold in their thick woolen overcoats. The couple were even greeted by a plucky DJ who offered to mix the tracks for them at their upcoming wedding. Speaking afterwards, Mr. Letford, 28, told Mail Online, Prince Harry took the card and said okay, and put it in his pocket. He said, "Prince Harry, if you're reading, getting me to DJ at your wedding will be the second best decision you've ever made in your life, after asking Meghan to marry you." Shane Carey, 46, founder and chief executive officer of Reprezent, who hosted the couple, said, "Since the visit was announced, there's been massive excitement in the station, much more than I could have expected." He added, "We're having the spotlight shown on us, from all the world's media pretty much. We've never had this attention. The whole point of this is that the young people learn how to be creative and then shine with it, and they're really getting a chance now." Inside Reprezent studios, the couple, who got engaged in November and were wed in May, met presenter Gloria Beyi, 17, host of radio show Glory Talks, who was on air, and her producer, Finn Whitehead, 27. Harry and Meghan were handed a bunch of flowers by one well-wisher in Brixton this afternoon. Harry holds a woman's hand while Meghan chats to another well-wisher outside the radio station in Brixton. Harry and Meghan meet well-wishers as they leave after a visit to the Reprezent 107.3 FM community radio station. Meghan puts her arm on her husband-to-be's back as they greet well-wishers after their visit to the radio station. The trip today came after Harry and Meghan have already carried out their first official royal visit together last year. Harry and Meghan approached the station's founder 3 days before Christmas asking if they could come and see the station for themselves. The pair held hands as they smiled and waved at the adoring crowd. Before making their way into Pote Brixton, Meghan beamed at the crowd, flashing her stunning engagement ring as she wrapped up against the cold in a grey woolen coat. The bride-to-be giggled as she made her way inside the venue, while Prince Harry chatted to volunteers alongside the music. She chats with her listeners about her favorite tracks, tweets and life generally. The couple timed their entrance perfectly as the presenter had just started a track, which meant they could talk without the listeners hearing them. The 17-year-old DJ admitted she was the youngest in the station when she was quizzed by Ms. Markle. The teenager talked about how she had been given the opportunity to host her own show after doing work experience at the station when aged 16. At one point, Harry made Meghan laugh by gesturing towards a CD mixer as if he was about to start scratching a track. As their few minutes with the presenter ended, Meghan praised the presenter, adding, "I can see why your show is so popular. You're so thoughtful and your approach is so engaging." Meghan then made everyone laugh when she added, "I must tune in." Miss Beyi said there had been a lot of shock around the visit, adding, "For two people who are making headlines in the news to come to a place where there's usually just a little column in the newspaper about us, I think a lot of people thought those two worlds would never collide." Miss Markle spent time after the visit waving at the crowds and greeting individuals who had waited all day. The couple even made people laugh inside the station, as they got involved with mixing and said they would tune into the show. Meghan praised the presenter of the show, telling her, "I can see why your show is so popular. You're so thoughtful and your approach is so engaging." Miss Markle held on to her husband-to-be, while he led her through the crowds and into Pote Brixton in South London. Hundreds of well-wishers made their way to South London, gathering outside Pote to see the couple, who took the time to stop and say hello. Harry and Meghan visit Reprezent to see their work supporting young people through creative training and broadcasting. The Reprezent training program was established 10 years ago in response to the rise in knife crime. The couple learned about the training programs in Brixton, and met some of the current and former volunteers. Harry and Meghan chat to young people on the Reprezent radio program about their experiences. More than 4,000 3,000 young people have been through the Reprezent program. With over 3,000 more on the waiting list, Harry and Meghan are at Pote Brixton, a temporary project that has turned disused land into a creative space for businesses. The couple are meeting presenters and staff from Reprezent FM, which trains hundreds of young people each year. Prince Harry and his bride-to-be Meghan Markle are visiting the London studios of a youth-orientated radio station today. There was a huge applause when Prince Harry and Meghan arrived just in South London shortly 3 p.m. wearing a grey coat, black trousers and a black top. Miss Markle accompanied her equally smart fiancé as they shook hands with the mayor of Brixton and local dignitaries before beginning their tour. The couple were greeted in an enthusiastic Harry said in an apparent reference to the station, "All this is amazing." Meghan wore a coat by Smythe, Burberry trousers and a sweater by Marks and Spencer. The couple were greeted by local dignitaries when they arrived, and a huge cheer went up when the crowd first saw the royals. Founded in 2003 by former teacher Shane Carey, Reprezent 107.3 FM grew out of a South London community radio project in response to a sudden increase in knife crime in Peckham, South London. In 2011 it won its FM license and is now known as a hotbed of UK music talent, nurturing stars including the grime maestro Stormzy, who started off as a guest but whose natural persona led to him being offered his own monthly show. Several of its presenters have also gone on to work on stations such as Radio 1 Extra. In the last few months alone, Reprezent has also collaborated with Damon Albarn's Gorillaz, while stars including Noel Gallagher have dropped in to do interviews. Reprezent has become such an urban success story that it now runs its own training and mentoring program, teaching participants everything from booking guests to presenting and production. More than 4,000 have been through the station's training program already, which offers accredited training and support in everything from audio and radio production to communication skills, confidence building and volunteering, with another 3,000 on the waiting list, according to Shane Carey, CEO and founder. It was Harry and Meghan who approached him 3 days before Christmas asking if they could come and see the station for themselves. Apparently they had learned about its work with the Queen's Young Leaders, which Harry has been particularly involved in, who in turn introduced him to William, Kate and Harry's Royal Foundation, the umbrella group for their own charitable interests. They are visiting a community radio station which trains hundreds of youngsters every year in media and employment skills. The bride-to-be was delighted as she smiled and waved at the crowds who lined the pavements to catch a glimpse of her. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's visit to Brixton left the London neighbourhood buzzing with excitement, with hundreds lining the streets. To welcome the couple, Prince Harry and his fiancée happily stopped to chat to people stationed outside the radio station in South London. Dozens of photographers, broadcast cameras and journalists were in place to capture the first moments of the royal visit. Tina Coase, 42, and her daughter Davina have been waiting since 10 a.m. to catch a glimpse of the couple. Miss Coase, who is originally from Moscow, Russia, said, "Like Meghan, my children are mixed race. Meghan is an inspiration and her marrying into the royal family will give them models to look up to." Members of the public eagerly waited for the arrival of Harry and Meghan for their visit to youth-orientated radio station. A group of youngsters from station have been excitedly tweeting through the morning. Ahead of the couple's arrival, 6-year-old Davina Coase helped her mother paint 2 flamingos in love as an engagement present for the couple. Well-wishers took along bouquets of flowers adorned with pictures of the happy couple, and wore their Union Jacks as they waited in the cold. Brixton resident of 50 years Jean Carter, 72, has been waiting for the royal couple since midday. She said, "This visit is a part of history." Harry and Meghan will visit the Reprezent FM studios at Pote Brixton, a temporary project that has turned disused land into a creative space for local, independent businesses. Grime music, which began in London at the turn of the century, has been thrust into the mainstream media in the past year, amid the successful rise of Stormzy. His debut album, titled Gang Signs and Prayers, released in February, reached #1 in the UK charts, a feat achieved by no other artist in the scene. Stormzy's rise to fame, alongside the popularity of Skepta and Jay Hoos, helped sales of grime to rocket by 109%, according to industry figures. The genre is based around some of the realities of urban lifestyle, including gangs, drugs, violence, guns and negative terms for women. Wiley, considered to be the godfather of grime, and other prominent artists such as Kano and Lethal Bizzle have also mentioned cannabis in their songs. "We didn't invite them. They approached us just before Christmas. I was asked to give a major presentation the next day and have been working on this non-stop ever since," he said. "The reason they are coming is because we are aligned very closely to their interests. We do a lot of work around mental health, The whole model of Reprezent is peer mentoring, and I know that is something that really interests Prince Harry. Reprezent came out of a community station and has been so successful that it has just eclipsed everything else. Reprezent is about giving young people a voice and confidence, and radio is probably the way to do it. There are so many jobs that you can do within radio, not just the obvious skills, but also getting on with people, turning your hands to all sorts of jobs. Mr. Carey said a lot of people had been asking him, "Why Meghan?" Well, by coincidence 60% of our intake are women, and they become, through their work here, quite strong, confident, opinionated women, he said, referencing her strong feminist principles, outspoken nature and philanthropic work. Mr. Carey said Reprezent's training program allowed young people to fulfill their potential and to progress into further education and employment opportunity. Many of the young people who complete the training are able to volunteer as presenters and producers on the station. Harry and Meghan were whisked inside Pote Brixton, a community project that houses independent local businesses. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's visit to Brixton left the London neighbourhood buzzing with excitement. Well-wishers had been allowed into the building's covered courtyard and they lined barriers as the couple walked past. Harry and his bride-to-be smiled after they arrived in a chauffeur-driven car at the studios of Reprezent FM in Brixton. Reprezent is known as a hotbed of UK music talent, nurturing stars including the grime maestro Stormzy, left, while stars including Noel Gallagher, right, had dropped in to do interviews. Nikos, 42, and her daughter Davina waited from 10 a.m. to catch a glimpse of the couple. Miskos, who is originally from Moscow, Russia, said, "Like Meghan, my children are mixed race. Meghan is an inspiration and her marrying into the royal family will give them models to look up to. I think it's brilliant and beautiful. We have made a poster and my daughter has brought a painting to give to them as a gift." Pam Simmons, 60, even bought a camp chair especially so she could wait in comfort for the newly engaged couple while enjoying a cup of wine. She said, "Harry and William are down to earth. There is only one way to find out what the problems are in life and that's to come to the grassroots, which is what they do." Accompanied by her husband of 41 years Paul, they said they were hoping to catch the pair to wish them a happy marriage. Crowds braved the chilly weather to catch a glimpse of Harry and his bride-to-be in Brixton this afternoon. Excited members of the public wait outside as the pair learn more about the training programs and meet some of the current and former volunteers who benefited from their time on the station's courses. At one point the couple turned to acknowledge the well-wishers lining crash barriers behind them. Reprezent 107.3 FM already has a sizable audience outside of London and is growing in America, where it is streamed online. London is seen as pretty cool when it comes to music at the moment, Mr. Carey said. When it comes to what we do here, only 20% go on to be presenters. There is so much more to the industry. Production, artist liaison, social media management. A lot of young people who come through us don't even go into the music industry. They go into customer-facing jobs, because they have great CVs packed with work experience. That is as much as a success for us as